What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Invictus Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Yannick Alunga. Nick, appreciate you coming.
Yeah, appreciate you.
And then I got two special guests to my left. I got our club director of South Valley, Coach James Taylor. James, I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And then another special guest, Coach Sikander. Coach, how you doing?
Chilling, bro.
I appreciate you coming on. James, I appreciate you coming on. With this episode, we're going to be doing a thing called Coach's Corner. Me and Nick did our last one. I actually kind of liked it a lot. It was good. It's educational, and we're excited to do it again with two coaches. James, you're still present as a coach, right? You're still going?
Yes.
Who are you coaching for right now?
So I'm the athletic director and the boys basketball coach at Rockwell Charter School in Eagle Mountain.
Okay.
And then I'm coach the 4th grade and 5th grade team at the South Valley location.
Love it. And then Coach Sikander, give us a little background on your coaching.
My experience or just...
Let's go experience.
All of it? Or
All of
just,
it. Give me.
well,
Let's hear it.
I'm 20 years in, bro.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm an old man
Give
now.
me 20 years.
I'm an old man now.
He
So.
said I'm old man.
Yeah, man. So I've been through the whole thing, man. I was the head girls coach at Lehigh High School back in 2005 to 2009.
Oh, yeah, that's
Jumped into the boys' side of things, was at Westlake, Mountain View, Pleasant Grove. And then I jumped back into girls at Skyridge, as that's where our connection is. As
Yep.
the girls head coach there.
Yep.
From New York City, born and raised, Brooklyn, New York. Fort Greene is where I'm from. And so I'm out here on the West Coast trying to do my thing and
Love it.
just building basketball as best I can.
Yeah. So you guys are obviously both head coaches at a varsity level. What's the biggest thing as coaches that you guys look for in not just girls, but just in a person that you want to pick up for your basketball team? What's the biggest aspect you guys look for?
I'll let you go first. Go for it.
I mean, so this has changed for me over the years.
Yeah.
When I first started, I just wanted the best players. Like, if you were the best skilled player, I wanted you. As I got older, more experienced, I realized that
Yeah.
just talent doesn't always go well.
Yeah.
And you needed the value of role players. You need the value of kids who listen, who value the game itself. My first head girl's job was a girl's job.
Yeah.
And so I just tried to. We weren't very good, so I literally was just throwing anyone who, if you can make a jump shot, you were playing. And it turned really. Toxic's not the right word, but it became really backbitey.
Yeah.
Because, I did this, you didn't do this. Oh, you turned it over. I was wide open. I would have made the
It's
shot.
not on me. Yeah.
And so then I really went, when I was at UMA, I really went team, we over me. And that's kind of where I've stayed.
Yeah.
And I think even in the couple years I've been with you guys, my teams always get better.
Yeah.
And they always celebrate each other's wins. And that's what I want the most. Kids that are going to fight for each other
Yeah.
and want to be together, not just get their own.
So not just overpower of talent. You're looking for pieces for your team.
And you actually have witnessed that, because when I coached you,
Yeah.
I was all about the skill. Are
Yeah.
you better than that dude? 'Cause that's all I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, for people that don't know, James was my assistant coach in high school, freshman and sophomore year.
Yep.
2 years?
2 years.
2 years. He was the one that was in my ear anytime I made a mistake. Or anytime the coach was yelling at me for a stupid mistake, he'd be the one that'd be in my ear like, oh, you're good. Just go. Just keep going.
Trying to
keep
translate
going.
that message down.
Yeah, so that's how I know James. Sikander, what were you looking for as a women's head coach? What were you looking for?
Well, in the high school world, you get what you get unless you recruit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's the world we live in. You know me, I'm gonna be real.
Yep.
Be real.
100%.
It happens in here. It's happening in the boys' game. It's happening in the girls' game. If you recruit, you're trying to get the best players. Me,
Yep.
I get what I get.
Yep.
I'm about culture first.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for the best players in the high school world. You know what you got.
Mm-hmm.
You know who the best players are.
Yeah. You already know.
So you know who that is. When you walk into a gym, you know who can play, who can't play.
Yeah.
It ain't that hard.
Yeah.
It ain't that difficult to figure that
No,
out.
not at all. Not at all.
You know who's dedicated, who's not dedicated. For me, it's about culture. Who fits my culture.
Mm-hmm.
My culture, as you know, you saw me build a program at Skyridge
Oh, great one.
with with nothing. From
First year.
first year, we won 5 games. To the third year, I was there to winning 21 games and going undefeated
Yeah.
and losing in the semifinals.
That is a crazy run Coach Sikander went on.
So, what I built my programs on, and what I'm building my youth program right now, is about the culture. And the culture, I call it shape. Is what I call it. I got it from PGC Point Guard College.
Yeah.
If you've ever been, and it's based off that. Do my kids show spirit?
Yeah.
Are you going to be spirited in my practice? And I'm not talking about the religious spirit. I'm talking about what do you bring every single day that will make our team better.
I like that.
Can you do that for us? The second, do you communicate?
Yeah.
Can you communicate to your teammates?
That's a huge one. The kids don't understand. It's annoying.
Right? But again, you got to hold your kids accountable to that.
Yeah.
And as you saw in my practices, I had a Mr. We call him Coach Carpet. For any mental mistake, he was on Coach Carpet.
Yep.
One of those mistakes is my culture, communication.
Yeah.
If you ain't communicating, got a carpet. Get out of here.
Explain to them what's a carpet.
So what I built, I learned it from Pleasant Grove High School. It's a 2x4, and I wrapped it with a carpet, and I drilled in holes into the carpet. And what they do is it's like the towel drill when you run and
Slide it. Uh-huh.
So I have a carpet that does that, so you don't need a towel.
Oh wow. You built it?
Yeah, you just need carpet. You need a 2x4, and you just drill it in, and it sits on the 2x4.
Oh wow. Oh shoot.
And you can ask anybody in my program when they heard Mr. Carpet or Coach Carpet.
They know. They know.
I'm not the type of coach to run my kids just to run. I learned that growing up. My high school head coach, get on the line, let's run a suicide.
Yeah.
I hated that. Like every kid hates that.
Yeah,
even in this day and age, right? Like get on the line. Those are the worst words you can hear as a player.
Oh, it's the worst.
Right?
It's the worst.
So communication, and then my next thing is, are you hustling? The H in shape is hustle. Do you hustle?
Yeah. Do
you hustle from point A to point B as hard as you can? When I tell you to get in the drill, are you hustling in the drill? Or are you hustling off?
Yeah.
Right? A stands for attitude. What's your attitude like when things are going wrong, not when things are going right?
Yeah, I like that.
That's when I start reading people.
Yeah.
I'm watching my players. I'm watching whose attitude is south when things are going.
So you're watching body language.
Correct, 100%. Body language, mannerisms.
Everything they're doing with their body.
Correct. How you talk to a coach, how you talk to a referee.
Yeah. And that plays a part.
100%. And then P stands for passion.
Yeah.
Do you truly have a passion for the game?
You passionate about it?
Are you just going to be a socialite?
Yeah.
Or do you truly have a passion for the game? Because I'm not here for socialism, right? In a sense, I'm not here to socialite. I'm not here to as a head coach to be your friend.
Yeah.
I want you to respect me, but I'm not here to be your friend.
Yep.
I'm here to win.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that's the way the game has become.
Right.
If you ain't winning, you're getting fired.
Yep, 100%.
Right? And parents have a big deal to do with that.
They do.
Right? And so that's what I kind of look for in them. And the last one is effort, enthusiasm, and energy. Like, do you bring that every day? Because it's a grind.
It's a grind. It's a long season.
It's the longest high school season.
No, it's not it's a year.
Yeah.
It's a long year.
So when do you start?
What do you mean?
You're going based off tryouts, from tryouts to the end of the year.
But there's tryouts every day.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where we're missing the point is high school coaches, they're year-round here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the rules here are different than out of state, right? In Texas or in California, when the season ends for high school, they're done. AAU picks up, and those high school coaches can't touch their players anymore. In Utah, it's the opposite. Utah, you get to touch the players all year long, besides 1 month. So it's not for Utah. It's a whole year. It's a whole year work.
Whole year you're working with the kids.
So if you ain't grinding,
yeah,
you ain't alive in the program.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my culture. That's what I look for in great players.
I like that. Kids, you guys heard that from two coaches, head coaches, what they're looking for. It's not just the skill. It's not just can you put the ball in the bucket. They're looking for off-court things also, fellas. So, and ladies. Nick, anything?
Yeah, I just got a question. When you guys are establishing that culture and you got a team that starts to slip away from what you've already established and what you expect, how do you go about reining them in? How do you get them back on track? Is it a harsh method? Is it a conversation? Is it different based on your personnel? How do you go about
Are we,
keeping that culture constant
are
the
we
whole year
talking
round
individually or as a group?
as a group?
So for me, I start individually. If I start seeing kids that are starting to creep, then we start there.
Okay.
And then I'll talk to my captains. Hey, what do you see here? What are you guys? I'm seeing this. What are you seeing? You guys are friends with them. You guys talk. I know you guys have your group chats. What is happening? I'm not asking for snitching but I'm asking how do I help this kid stay with us?
Yeah.
And then it's got to be different because I grew up in the day where you did what coach said, and if you did not, there was the bench or there was the door.
Yeah.
And we conformed to that. That was the expectation. Our head coaches, the head coach at my high school just retired.
Oh wow.
So and he got there my sophomore year, and I'm 37 years old. So
do the math. Someone put it in the comments. Do the math.
Yep, do the math.
Put it in the comments.
Time.
I'm a PE teacher. I can't do math. Sorry.
Can't do enough.
Yeah.
I was just counting down.
So that is no longer the norm. Like Coach said, like if you're not winning, you could find yourself.
Oh yeah,
in
you're
a
on the
bad spot.
you're on the hot seat.
And so, I think that's one we got to find it for ourselves. I'm a big personality guy.
Yeah.
When I walk in here and I have my groups that I had, I had that one group for 2 years. When I walk in here, I feel like a celebrity, even though I'm just walking in to get something before I go back up to South Valley.
Yeah.
And this generation really is about that, about how they feel as an individual. And I'm with Coach. I'm not your friend. I'm here to get something out of you. I'm here to help you get to where you need to go.
Yeah.
But I do that because I care for you and I love you as an individual, not just as a basketball player.
100%. Coach Sikander?
Yeah, man. I think it's an ongoing process. It starts day one. When you have those kids, it's about building individual relationships first, I believe. For me, what I try to do is I try to build leadership teams in my programs. And what I do with that is on every Monday, I have a leadership team, and I have a sophomore, fresh, depending on what I got in my program. For instance, if I got my best talented freshman, she's probably going to be in that group. Got a sophomore, I got a junior, and I got a senior in that. I don't do captains. I do leadership teams.
That's new. I haven't heard that.
I don't do captains because the reason being it causes a lot of conflict with young people. As adults, different story. Younger kids, they feed off each other.
Yeah.
If they feel like one's inferior than the other, then it's going to cause
conflict.
There's a lot of tension.
Yeah.
So I try to make everyone feel equally as important because that's what they need to feel, right? Every kid needs to feel important. Everybody's role is important. I try to teach my kids number 16 is just as important as number 1.
I like that.
And if you don't have that connection, if number 1 doesn't feel 16 is important, you're going to have a lot of those issues. You're going to run into a lot of that. So I discuss with my players when we have these issues. If it's between 2 or 3 kids, for instance, I had this at Skyridge. I had with girls, the boy issue. I had one girl, young lady, who had a boyfriend, and she had a best friend that was on the team, and now she's going to hang out with the boyfriend, and she's getting left behind. She the third wheel, right? You know how that's going to go, right?
A bad situation.
It's a bad situation, right? And girls, like I said, girls with girls basketball, guys are different, right? Girls are different. They need that social aspect in their lives. They do some of this for that social stuff, right? So you can see the separation happening. So I'm a straight to the point guy. I'm not gonna let it fester because it's cancer.
Yeah.
You let cancer,
It's gonna spread.
it's gonna spread real fast. You gotta
quick.
remove it. So in a situation like that, I bring the 2 girls in. I sit down. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I need to take care of it first, but I got to talk to parents first.
Yeah.
I make sure the parents is on board.
Yeah.
I got this issue. We need to figure it out. They're all good. They're on board with it. So I meet them. I sit down. I say, hey, I take them to lunch. I do this whole thing. Look, I need you guys to squash this
Right now.
right now. She got a boyfriend.
Yep.
It's okay. Just live with it. It's all good. You got your dreams and goals. She's got her boyfriend. She
Oh, I
wants to
missed it. Wait, so the friend, she's mad at her friend because she got a boyfriend?
Correct. Yes.
Whoa, I missed
So,
it.
correct. Yeah.
Oh, that just flew over my head.
Yeah.
Whoa, this is a situation.
Yeah, it's a tough
Whoa,
situation.
that's a greedy situation.
Right. So you got these two girls who are best friends.
Yeah.
Boyfriend comes in and
Whoa, slices it.
open.
Takes the time.
Right, and that's okay. That's life, right?
100%.
That happens in everything, right? But that's what's happening. So anyway, so I gotta take care of that business, right?
Yep.
My season's on, and these are two talented young ladies that
Need them to be locked in.
and if they not locked in, we losing.
Yep.
Right. So I gotta have that situation. I have to have that tough conversation with those kids
Yeah.
and go, hey, this is about us. You can still have the boyfriend.
Yep.
You can still be friends.
Yep.
But hey, we got to move on from this, and we got to let these hard feelings go. When you get on the court, this ain't gonna work out for us,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be very, very disappointed because all this hard work that we're doing. Because my kid, I was 6 a.m. in the morning with my kids.
No, every time they were in there because we had like a 8 or something like that.
Yeah,
The girls were in there way before us.
Like I was,
working.
we was locked in, bro.
Working,
We was
yeah.
locked in. I wasn't
locked in.
building. I wasn't building something that was gonna fall off.
No,
I was getting to the top of the mountain. That's
had
how it
to.
worked.
You're the first coach too.
Yep.
For whoever doesn't know, he was the first women's head coach at Skyridge High School, 2016 and 17.
And all the way to 2019, 16 and 19.
Yep.
Anyway, so just situations like that, man. Like, you got to be willing as a head coach to say, put your foot down and say, hey, it ain't happening here.
Mm-hmm.
You can't worry about what parents are going to say. You can't worry about what the administration is going to say. At the end of the day, if you want to win, you got to have tough conversations. If I get fired for it, I get fired for it. But if this is what you're asking me to do as a head coach,
Yeah.
when you put down the list of things that you need to do and be responsible for, those are one of those things I'm going to be responsible for. Then I'm gonna have to do that.
I'm gonna do it. I like that. Yeah.
And so that's kind of how I do it. The leadership team.
Yeah. Okay, I got a question for all three of you guys. Coach Neek, you coach 5th grade, 6th grade, and our high school team at Victus. You obviously coach the head coaching job at Miami, the team? Rockwell, you're the head men's basketball. And then you've been coaching for 20 years. So my question to you guys, let's talk youth sports here. Let's get out of high school. Let's talk youth sports. Let's go from 3rd grade to 8th grade. Okay. When it comes to defense, okay, I have a lot of friends that I've talked to about this subject, and we all don't agree with some certain things about it. When it comes to defense, is 11 going to help the kids more, or is the zone going to help the kids more as they're trying to achieve their goals going to high school? What gets them more prepared for high school?
I feel like everybody's got to be able to guard their man. So I feel like you got to kind of start there.
Yeah.
That's if you're going for development of the kids. If you're trying to win games right away, obviously.
Let's say I want development.
Development, I
As
think
a
you
coach, I
got
want you
to
to
do
focus on
man.
development. Yeah.
Because when you get to high school, you have to be able to stay in front of somebody. Even if you're in the zone aspect, kids are
100%.
good enough
Yeah.
to beat you in that zone. Because zone is really a man, just you have little sections on the court.
Yeah.
So if you can't stay in front of somebody in that section, you're going to have a hard time. So that's why I feel like early on, stick with man and just the principles, shifting your hips, making a big slide, getting your hands up and not fouling when you're contesting. All that little stuff is a lot
And it
more
applies to the
effective,
2-3.
and it applies to the zone. So there's a lot of concepts in the zone that you get from man, so it makes sense to start there, in my opinion.
Yeah. You guys?
I think development-wise, you always have to start with man.
Yeah.
Just like when we teach a shooting, we don't say just grab it and chuck it at the rim, right?
Yeah.
We spend many hours fixing that habit.
Yeah.
And so when we're just talking straight development, they have to understand man principles, not just where my guy is, like when my guy has the ball, the angles of the how to play defense, but also the help side angles and the help side movement in man. Because if you don't understand that, all zone is just you're assigning, this is your help area. That's basically all it is.
I was just about to say that same thing.
So if you don't understand that in man, you're also going to not understand that in zone. You're going to find the kid who, we've all seen it, the 6 foot,
They're trying to hide somebody.
That, or you get the kid that you're
It's
just
only
stick in the
been
middle of the
under.
2-3 of the zone,
Yeah.
and he gets blocks every once in a while, but he has no idea what's happening because
Just
no one,
sitting down there.
but no one ever taught him.
Yeah.
That's not on the kid.
Yeah.
That's on what he was taught to do.
Yep.
And then, so it's tough because when we're in a club situation,
Yeah.
parents are paying a lot of money.
Yep.
And they want to see that child improve.
They do.
So and sometimes that means winning
Yeah.
to certain families.
It does.
So they might not see it that way. So you go zone to try to win games. It might be at the expense of some later development. But then even if you I only play zone with my kids right now.
Yeah.
But we spend hours working on man-to-man principles.
Yeah. Because they apply.
Because they apply.
Yeah.
We're not quite there. We don't have the size. Honestly, it's a size issue with my 5th and 4th graders to play man straight up.
Just because they got someone that's taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we don't. So it's just.
Yep.
So that's the. But they have to understand those basics. You can't run before you walk.
Yeah. 100%. Coach Sikander.
It's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
You want to know why?
Let's hear it.
Because this state is way behind.
Let's
Way behind.
hear it. Let's hear it. Why?
I'm going to be real with you. If we got 4 levels, one age group, got D1, D2, D3, D4.
Yep.
Why do we have that? Because basketball is behind.
Yeah.
And because people play zone
Skill
rather
level.
than man.
Yep.
Because all these kids do not know how to play man-to-man.
Not at all. There's a lot of kids that don't.
And I'm just going to take it back to where I grew up.
Yeah.
I'm in the park every single day.
Yep.
Playing basketball every single day.
New York.
And guess
Brooklyn.
what we doing? You manning up.
Man to man, there's no zone in the
Ain't
park.
no zone in
There's
the
no
park.
zone in
Ain't
the
no
park.
zone in pickup ball.
No.
Ain't none of that going on. And
No.
so when I was in
Carey.
third grade, right, when I was in
Sweet
third grade
Jones.
playing
Sweet
basketball, I was playing man-to-man
Had
every
to.
single day until I got to high school.
Yep.
And then when I got to high school, there was zone concepts,
Mm-hmm.
right? I do not play man-to-man. I mean, do not play zone
I
with
like
my
it.
kids, with girls, even with girls.
None of them.
Not at all.
Wow.
Because what I'm trying to get my kids to do is I want them to be varsity basketball players.
Yes.
It's not even about college basketball yet.
Yep.
I want my kids to play varsity basketball.
I like
If
it.
they want to play varsity basketball, you better be playing man-to-man.
Yeah. Gotta be able to slide your feet.
At the end of the day, that's where you learn all the concepts of basketball. That's where you build IQ.
Yep.
That's where you build your skill. That's where you build your shooting ability, learning how to read defenses, learning how to read and react. Like all these concepts come from man-to-man, not a zone defense.
Yeah.
I coach girls right now. My girls, I don't play in girls tournaments no more. I play in boys tournaments.
Oh, all guy tournaments.
All guy tournaments.
Okay.
Why? Every guy tournament I've been into, they all still play zone.
Yeah.
Versus girls.
Yeah.
My girls are 4th and 5th grade. Do you think they're strong enough to shoot threes yet?
No.
Do you think those boys are strong enough to shoot threes?
For sure,
yet?
they are.
They are, but aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not with the right form.
Right? Not with the correct
Huckleberries.
technique. Right? They are. They're just
Huckleberries.
right, and they're going in, and it's kind of like this. I related to this. You know, when you were in high school, and you went to the scouting report, right? And they were like, "Hey, this guy can't shoot.
Yep.
Let's back off him, right?
Gap them.
Right, gap him, let him
Dwayne
find out."
Brown, gap
And then
them.
they get in the game, and they're wide open, and they hit that first one, right?
You're looking at coach.
And you're like, "Coach,
Yo,
what-
what's the
what-
scouting
what-
report?"
He can't shoot." Right? And then the first one he makes,
Yeah.
they all look at you like, "Coach, you shoot." Patient.
Trust the numbers.
Right? Relax,
the numbers.
right? And then that person starts shooting.
Yeah.
And then they go 1 for 16 during the game, and then you win the game, and you're like,
Okay,
what
coach.
I say?
Okay, coach.
Right? Like,
Yep.
I got you. Like, you were right, coach, right?
Yep.
It's the same thing and the same concept, right? These young kids, okay, you can make that right now.
Yeah.
But when you get to 8th grade, you ain't going to make that shot.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've been working on the wrong technique.
Yeah.
You weren't strong enough, so you're building bad habits.
Yeah.
You were able to get it off when you were younger. Now your shot is slow as tar,
Yep.
and you're going against faster, bigger, stronger
longer.
people.
Yes.
And now you can't get your shot off.
Yep. Because you're practicing bad habits when you were younger. To be honest, a lot of kids around that we know have some bad habits because probably that same reason. They come from 4th and 5th grade doing their shot and it sometimes goes in, couple bank shots, couple threes, and they love it. And then they just never work on it because they already think they have it.
So they're building a false sense of confidence.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right?
I like that.
For real. So they're building this false sense of how good I am.
Yeah.
But then when you stick them in a man-to-man situation in high school,
Yeah.
they all melt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
They're not ready. They're not prepared.
They're not ready. And then they're playing sophomores.
Yep.
We're not making the sophomore team. We're like, what happened?
Yep.
Why did I make the team?
3 years ago, that's what happened. You were practicing bad habits. That's what happened.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you ain't playing man-to-man, I think you're doing a disservice to your kids, in my opinion. And I get it. Like, this is nothing against anybody. You got to do what you got to do for your program and for your kids. If you feel like they're not ready, they're not ready.
Yeah.
My philosophy, I ain't letting you get away with it.
Throw them in there.
They in the fire.
Throw them in there. Toss them in.
You gotta sacrifice. You gotta sacrifice winning, losing, and taking your hits and getting punched in the face.
Yep.
So you learn to get punched and learn to get punched back.
Yep.
Right? It's a boxing match. And then when they get older in the 9th, 10th grade, you're ready to prepare. Like, and I'm not trying to float my boat. My daughter as a 9th grader started varsity at Westlake.
She's tough. She's so tough.
6'8" kid, starting varsity. My next one who's an 8th grader.
She's also tough.
She's gonna be tough too. Like, they've been playing man to man since when they came out the womb.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, and that's what I prepared them for. I prepared them so when they become freshmen, because in my house, I told my kids, I ain't watching you play softball, JV basketball. I'm
not
sorry.
pulling up for it.
I am not.
I'm not fighting the traffic for that.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't coming to the gym to watch that, young lady. So if you're gonna do this, and I'm a dad of 4 girls.
We're gonna do it at the highest level possible.
That's right. And it's not even about college. If that's what they want to do, that comes later. But I'm not doing that to my kids.
Yeah.
And my kids have very high IQs.
Yeah.
They know when to pass the ball. They know how to read defenses. They know how to do all that stuff. So
you prepared them to play varsity.
To play varsity as a freshman.
I think that's another big thing that a lot of kids and parents don't understand is when you get into high school and college, there is no D1, D2, D3, D4.
Correct.
As a freshman, you might have to go play a senior. The seniors hit puberty, the freshman has not. But guess what? You're still expected to go out there and go perform at a high level. So I think with divisions, it's good to a certain extent. And then I think at 7th grade, there should be no division just because we got to get these guys ready. Like, sometimes you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose really bad. Sometimes you're gonna go up against someone that's a lot better than you. But guess what? If you do go up against someone that's a lot better than you, what do you do as a kid or as a father or somebody? Take that kid to the gym or take myself to the gym, and I go work on the things that I have to go work on. Man, he was really good at shooting threes, and he kept blocking my shot. Let me go get a 3, and let me go work on getting my shot off quicker. Because I think too many kids get to 9th grade, and they're not ready. They're not ready for varsity, or they're not ready for JV.
And can I elaborate on that too a little bit?
Yep.
Like, they don't play enough basketball.
Yeah.
To be real with you. And
don't touch grass, kids.
Like for real, like
don't touch grass.
For real, like, okay, besides the 2 times a week that you guys play basketball, you young kids, what else are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, we do all the leading and we do all the coaching and we do all that, but are you truly, you know what I'm saying, going in the park by yourself and doing what you gotta do to get better? Are you taking the things that these coaches are giving and are you doing one-on-one stuff by yourself? Like, for me, again, when I grew up, like, I'm gonna just kind of tell a story a little bit.
Yep.
I was like about 13 years old. I just got into it, started to get serious, and I was in a basketball tournament, right? And all my boys was all better than me. I was the little white boy in the all-black neighborhood because I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. So I was the clown, right? I was the odd man. I was the minority of the minority, for real. So
you were in there.
Like, I was in the gutter. And I shot the ball on the wrong basket in the tournament.
Oh, no.
At 13 years old, bro. Yeah, for real.
I got a few kids.
That's how you're not getting invited back to the block party. No barbecue for Coach Sikander.
Hey, I was
13-year-old Coach Sikander.
Hey, I was for real. I was in Harlem in the basketball tournament. I had to take an hour train ride back home with my homies with my best friends. You know what's happening.
They're sick.
Yeah.
They're sick.
You know what they doing to me, right?
Oh
They
no.
clown for a whole hour, right? So I had two choices.
That's so
I had two choices, right? I had to either have to buck up and say, you know what, this is what I want, or I could say, you know what, this ain't for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so from that point on, I just said, this is for me.
Yeah.
So I went out,
Locked in.
4 or 5 hours in the park, bruh.
Wow.
Sun up to sundown. Got home from school, 5 hours till 11 o'clock at night. I didn't want to be home because my home was tough.
Yeah.
I was in the park by myself, doing what I got to do to prepare myself. My dream is college basketball, 5 hours one-on-one by myself. What kids do
Every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Every day.
I love.
Every day.
That's what that's what it takes. That's what it takes. I always tell my kids at South Valley. This is the South Valley. Every time I talk to them, I say, "Hey, you only have 2 hours of practice a week, right? 2 hours a week, and then we do 2 hours of skill. So that's 4. So times that by 4 for the month. What is that? What does that end up with?
16.
Is that a lot of hours?
Nope.
No, but a lot of these kids think that's a lot. They think that's going to be enough. It's not. What we're teaching you as skills and practice is so you can go home and go perfect that. Right? You're just learning the skill. Now you have to go home and go perfect it. I can't make you go get a crazy 3-pointer in 1 hour in those 16 hours. It's not going to happen by that. It's you going and trying to figure out, what's my shot like? How can I get it quicker? Muscle memory. Muscle memory is something you have to do over and over and over and over again, and it has to be the exact same every time for it to be muscle memory.
So, again on this,
Yep.
like I said, I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry, but I just got.
That's why you're here, coach.
I just got a lot of.
That's why you're here.
I can talk about this for days and days and days. I've been in
100%
it.
same.
You know what I'm saying? Just that 2 hours ain't even enough for high school, bro.
No.
That's not even
Absolutely
enough for high school. You're not gonna make your high school team with
No.
4 hours a week.
No.
It's not gonna happen.
No.
And that's what people don't understand. That's what parents don't understand.
Yeah.
Right? They don't understand it don't take 4 hours. It takes 6 hours maybe
Yes.
just to make the varsity basketball team in high school.
Just to make it, not to be the top
Yeah,
scorer or a
100%.
starter. Just
Correct.
to make it.
Just to play your role and
Just
get
to make
there,
it, yeah.
bro. Like
Yeah.
that they don't get it.
Sacrifices that you have to take.
Just like anything in life, if you want to be great at something, that's what it takes. It takes sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right? I play D1 basketball because
Yep.
I'm a 5'10" white dude, bro. Half Afghani. I'm Middle Eastern, bro.
Yep.
I can't jump and dunk.
No.
I can't do that. I'm barely touching the backboard in high school, bro. Like, well, it wasn't until I got to college where I was like, oh, I got to start lifting weights.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to start. Okay, now I'm in there for 2 hours.
Yep.
And now I got to pump the iron, and now I got to build my legs, Look, I played against Kenny Bruner in junior high. You probably don't know who he is. Kenny Bruner, Smush Parker, played for the Lakers. I played for Marcus Banks, played for Phoenix in junior college. I looked at these dudes. These was grown men.
Yeah.
Like enormous, like Kenny Bruner. His name is Bad Santa when he was on the N1 circuit.
Bad Santa?
Bad Santa. You gotta look it up. N1 mixtape.
Nickname.
All right. His calf was bigger than my thigh, bro. He was 5'4".
Saquon.
I'm serious. He was 5'4". His thigh, his calf was bigger than my thigh.
Yeah.
And I looked at that dude and said, if I have to compete against him, I got to work.
Yeah.
I got to work, right? And so, and again. Being from New York City, a lot of people don't know my background from here, but I was in gyms with legends.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know
A lot of legends from New
like
York.
Booger Smith. I don't even know who you guys know who that is. He's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Look it up, 1996. I'm actually in that article.
We'll throw it up right here.
Yeah, you can look up.
Throw it up right here.
So I was in the gym every day with that dude, bro. I was in the gym with Half Man, Half Amazing, the real Half Man, Half Amazing. Not Vince Carter. Vince Carter. Real Half Man, Half Amazing was Biz. They call him Biz. He got busy. That's why they call him Biz.
Ooh,
I was
that nickname.
I was in the Salvation Army on Kosciuszko and Nostrand Avenue with the greats.
And you had to work.
So if I wanted to become something,
Yeah.
I had to put myself in that position.
Yeah.
And I had people around me to surround me with those people.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's 2 hours a day
Yep.
with the coaches.
Yeah.
When you go into the gym and surrounding yourself with greatness every single day to compete against the best every single day to propel you on your journey to where you want to go. If you want to be a pro,
Yep.
D1, whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
We all want to make the NBA. I wanted to make the NBA. Of course I did.
I did.
Who doesn't?
Did you?
Right?
I still like that.
Okay.
Still like
Okay.
that.
That's a hot take.
Hey, you got.
If I get some time on my hands,
You getting your 5 hours a day in?
plenty hours.
Then we need
Book,
five.
book coming out.
Book coming out.
Gotta optimize those hours.
How to become a pro in 1 hour to spare?
The title, my goodness. Title still ain't working. I got a question, though. I got a question.
Yes.
So when it comes to that work, can you guys build that in somebody? Because for me, it was the same as you. I was out all the time, and it's because that's what I wanted to do. Yes, there was adults out there to help me shape my time a little better and to help me focus on certain things and get me to think about certain things. But nobody had to tell me, like, hey, are you going to the park today? Are you going to the gym? I was literally sneaking in the neighbors' yards, sneaking shots and catching it out the bottom of the net before it I would shoot threes and then sprint down there and catch it. So they couldn't. They're having family home eating it. You feel me? Like some of these kids,
That's so funny.
I try so hard to get them to understand, but it doesn't feel like I'm finding a method to build that want.
We have to help them find their motivation. I'm going to tell a non-basketball story.
Yep.
Marcus has heard this story probably a gazillion times now. But when you haven't heard the whole story, this is the
Let's
first
hear
time
it.
you
Let me
heard the
hear
whole
it.
story. When I was in junior high, 8th grade, I was being bullied so badly that I refused to go to school. I went from a straight A student to straight Fs
Because you didn't go to school.
because I was refusing to go to school. My mom is a school teacher, was a principal, refusing to go to school. My dad's a chiropractor. Like these are smart people who, and once again, I'm come from the generation of you do that because that's what you're supposed to do, and I am kicking against it.
Yeah.
Sexual harassment, things like that. They're just so. School was horrible for me.
Yeah.
And I loved school. I love learning. I'm a teacher now. I work at a school.
Yeah.
Like, I love school. But that year I did not. And so my 9th grade year, my mom transferred me to Pleasant Grove Junior High from Lehigh. And so I loved it. And school became a love again. Rolls around to the end of the year. And they say, all right, James, you're going back to Lehigh High School. And I said, I am not. I refuse.
Yeah.
Students did not have the same rights that they do now. So we were both Pleasant Grove and Lehigh were both closed boundary schools at the time. And I lived in Saratoga Springs, therefore I had to go back to Lehigh.
Oh, that's what they hit you with?
And even my mom was like, he can't.
Yeah.
He cannot go back to Lehigh.
Yeah.
This will not end well for my son if he goes back to Lehigh. And the district forced it. The school superintendent told my parents to suck it up. He's got to go to Lehigh.
That's crazy. That'd never fly now.
No, it would never fly now.
Never fly now.
Luckily, the assistant superintendent reached out to my mom and said, hey, there is one loophole here. He has to join a program at Pleasant Grove that is not at Lehigh that will take a considerable amount of time where we can justify the transfer because he cannot transport himself because I'm 14, 15 years old. I cannot drive.
Can't drive.
There was one. It was ballroom dance.
Mm-hmm.
So, mom enrolls me in ballroom dance classes, and I hate it. It is so dumb. It's terrible. I want to be on the court. I try out for the ballroom team. Lo and behold, I don't make it.
Oh, wow.
And my butt's getting shipped back to Lehigh High School.
So you had to make the ballroom team
I
to
had
stay?
to make the ballroom team to stay, and I did not make it in the May tryout. I was one of 2 boys. Imagine that. In a sport that doesn't have enough boys, they said, you're so bad, we don't want you.
Shoot.
For reference, at the time, the Pleasant Grove High School ballroom dance team was one of the best in the entire country. So yeah, they're not going to allow just some random schmo to be on the team, not bringing anything. I was devastated. I do not want to go back to Lehigh High School.
Yeah.
And so my mom gets a hold of the coach and says, hey, like, we really need him to be on this team. And he goes, I understand that, but he has to earn it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the one thing he needs to do is he needs to be able to dance on count.
Yeah.
And, all music has a rhythm, all music has a count, and each dance in ballroom has its own specific counts.
Yeah.
I did not understand that. I could do all the steps.
Uh-huh.
For instance, cha-cha starts on a 2. I would just hear music and be like, and we're going. 2, 3, cha-cha-cha. And I might be on a 4.
And you're off.
And I'm off. And he said if he could fix that one thing, he's golden. Like, he's a decent enough dancer. We can at least work with that.
Yeah.
But he cannot count music.
Yeah.
So at 15 years old, I buy 2 ballroom CDs because that's how we did it back then.
I love CDs.
I did not listen to anything except those 2 CDs. And I figured out, I taught myself how to count music.
So you had to put in that work.
I put in that work. I didn't listen to any of my Eminem. I didn't listen to any of my Dr. Dre.
No Slim Shady?
No Slim Shady.
Whoa.
It was all ballroom every day, to the point now where, like, my family still jokes about certain songs. They're like, oh, I hate that song because we heard James listen to it so freaking much.
If I was your brother, I'm smashing your CD player.
Yep.
Whoa, bullying at the household.
Yep. And all 3 of us were in one room at that time.
Oh,
Yeah.
First night they smashed.
I'm also the biggest, the oldest at that point. I'm not the biggest anymore, but by the end of my career, I didn't have to count music anymore.
Because
I knew it. Even in
put that work
college,
in.
I put that work in. And even in college, I danced in college. And there was actually a time we're getting ready for nationals, and we're working on something. Our coach is like, this is on 1. I look at him like, no, it's on 2.
Oh,
And he looks at me and he's like, no, it's on 1. I'm like, no, it is on 2. I promise. Listen to the music. And he and I went back and forth. It was on 2.
Lord.
And
Drop the coach's name.
Yeah. Shout him out right now, James. Throw him out there.
Can't count music. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
but it was one of those things. Like, he was like, well, I choreographed it. I'm like, yeah, but you're
the wrong
wrong.
choreography.
Your choreography is correct, but that's not right. But that's the thing, is like putting that work. Like, for me, it was life and death. And I don't even mean that
Metaphorically.
Seriously. I don't know where little James goes if he goes back to Lehigh.
If he didn't make that dance
If
team.
I did not make that dance team.
Yeah.
And even the first 2 years I was dancing, I still did not give a rat's patootie about ballroom dance. I still want to play basketball.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I realized I could actually be good at that, and it changed my motivation. But my initial motivation to be good at ballroom was literally to save myself.
Yeah.
And so not to make it like super serious, but like that's not every kid's gonna have that same motivation, but we have to find that. It sounds similar to you didn't want to be there, so you found a way in an outlet. We've got to help them find what's their motivation. Can we piece through? Is this your parents' motivation? Is this your motivation? What is your goal with this? If your goal is to play high school basketball, we can probably work with that.
Yeah, 100%. I think I want to jump on that with the motivation. I think you see a lot of these East Coast guys grinding this basketball. Like you, look at you.
Yeah.
New York, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Why are you out there? Because you wanted to get out of there.
100%.
You didn't have any. There's no other choice. You had to.
Okay.
You knew your dream was to go play college basketball. Who's the only person that can go get that right now out there? Yourself.
100%.
Because you were in the gutter. You had to. So a lot of these East Coast guys that I know that I played against, they're coming from tough places and tough households and stuff like that. So they don't know anything else. I'm going to go hoop and I'm going to go get better so I can go get out of here and get myself an education. So I can go to college without having debt. And so my parents don't have to pay. And then hopefully I can make a job out of it when I go pro, if I can go pro. And a lot of these kids don't understand. It's a job right now. A lot of these kids are going to school and getting in thousands and thousands of dollars of debt where you could really just go lock in for these next 3-4 years and put in 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. And then you can be debt free coming out of college. A lot of these kids are in debt.
So kind of give you my take on this.
Yep.
So my story, his story, we all have stories, right?
Yeah.
We all have an epiphany sometime in our life.
Yep.
It comes down to when you are in the depths of pain.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's when you want to change your life.
Yeah.
That's when most kids or any of us in life want to change our life.
Mm-hmm.
We have an epiphany at some point in our lives. Some people have it when they're in high school. Hopefully they have it in high school. Some people have it when they're adults. Some people have it when middle age, in their 20s.
Yeah.
Right? But we all have a moment in our time when we have an epiphany where we want to do what we want to do and we go, I'm motivated.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you got to plant a seed. You got to plant a seed as a coach, as a mentor, as someone who's a basketball coach, someone leading young people. You have to plant a seed.
Yeah.
Right? And it necessarily doesn't grow from you. It grows from that individual. But when you plant the seed, there's something in there that gets nutrients. There's something inside that kid that starts to get the water it needs. It starts to get the sunlight it needs. It starts to get all that stuff that you need, the good soil, be surrounded by people that want to see you succeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got all these intangibles and all these ingredients
Yeah.
to make that plant grow. And that kind of happened to me, right? I had this epiphany when I was on that train.
Yeah.
But then I was surrounded by one of the greatest mentors I can ever, God has blessed me with. His name is Mike Sr.
Shout out, Mike.
Mike Sr. got a day named after him in New York City, in Brooklyn, New York.
Gosh. Okay, Mike.
Like Mike's a legend. Like coached over 10,000 kids. He's from the projects.
Wow.
Like pros galore, D1 players.
Everyone knows
galore.
Mike. They know Mike out
Everybody in New York City knows who Mike is. If you don't know who Mike is, then you don't know basketball.
there. Yeah.
Like that's how real Mike is. Like I just came back from New York in the summertime, went to the projects, went to visit Mike, sat in his room, and he just like I'm 43 years old. I was 13, 14 years old. I can still go back to Mike.
Mm-hmm.
He sits me down. He's like, "This is what you got to do.
Gave it to you straight.
This is what you got to do. I know you're going through something hard." It's all right. He gives me his stories about racism when his parents were growing up in South Carolina, and I'm just soaking it all in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's planting the seed in me, so I can just take that. I'm just like, just eating it up. Just keep talking, Mike. Keep talking. I want this. I want this. Right? And so those are those ingredients to help my plant grow in my situation that I'm in now.
Yeah.
Right? Because life is always ongoing and moving. And so I think that's the biggest part is we ain't gonna do it for them, but you can plant the seed.
Mm-hmm.
Plant the seed. That's all your job is.
Yeah.
Right, and once you do that, the kid has to take care of it himself. And when that epiphany comes, when he's in the dirt, when he's just trying to get up off the ground,
It's gonna kick in.
it's going to kick in at some point in his life. Unfortunately, you have no control over that.
Yeah.
I have
When
no
it is.
control over right.
Yeah.
That's all on them. And once that happens, then the kid can blossom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I see it.
Yeah, plant the seed. That's a deep one.
I like that. Anything else?
That answered a lot of it. It feels like if we really focus to the kids in their situation, you can almost figure out what the seed's gonna be. You can almost. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is there a formula to motivate these kids consistently? And a lot of it is self-motivation. But I think if you dwell enough with those kids and what they like and listen to their stories, you'll be able to figure out what it is.
I think we go back to something both of us said originally when you asked about culture. We both mentioned it was individual relationships first.
Yeah.
We cannot have that relationship to build the culture. We cannot have the relationship to ask hard things of these children, no matter what age they are, if we don't have that relationship first. And if we're building that relationship, we will inadvertently find what that motivating
What they
point will
need.
be. Yes.
What they need. Yeah.
Kind of along with that, like you said, I think you just made a good point. Is like know their story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's hard in this environment, especially here in Utah, is you don't get a chance to do that. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
You don't. That's how I got fired at Skyridge.
Yep.
Like I was trying to help somebody. Like growing up where I'm from, we don't know everybody's situation, but we know we going through all hard.
Yeah.
We all know we struggling. We all on food stamps.
Yep.
Like we all know, hey, so and so got shot, so and so this, so and so. Like we know all that, right?
Yep.
So how do we help our community, right? And for me, I'll be like I said, I'm being raw and real here. I don't feel like
Yep.
this is a community here.
No.
I'll be real with you. There is so much division here. Like in my community where I'm from, I just came back from a funeral. My sister, she's my sister, died of cancer, brain cancer. I went back home. I'm LDS. I went to a Baptist church, right, bruh. The feeling of love by those people,
Yeah.
and my color of my skin.
Yep.
I walked in there and didn't feel no different.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I'm not trying to get racial or anything like that,
Yep.
but I stood up. My brother told me to stand up in front of everybody and tell him my story and tell him how our connection is, because this is my brother. Like, this is my bro. He's the one that took me into all these places, traveling with all these people,
Yeah.
all these big time ball players, and he put me on the path. When I was going through my dark time, when I lost my job at Skyridge, like it was a dark time for me. Like I was literally suicidal. I'll be real with you.
Yeah.
Like I was on the pinnacle, bruh. I was up here.
You're high.
I was on my high.
Super high.
My next step was college basketball. I was going to be a college coach. That's what my dream was.
Yeah.
It all got taken from me.
Snatched.
Like this.
Yes. Within seconds.
Within one decision that wasn't even mine.
Yeah.
It all was taken away.
Yeah.
So how do I deal with that? My brother texts me every Thursday.
Yeah.
From New York. No one here who is my friends here
Yeah.
ever checked up on me.
Outside people.
My hometown brother every Thursday for the last 6-7 years checked on me every day.
Yeah. 100%.
I ain't have one person from Skyridge. I have no principal. I have nobody.
Yeah.
That's community.
Yeah. Yes. I think Utah is a bubble. We're in a bubble here, and it's like it's really just you. So I'm from Philadelphia. I'm adopted from Philadelphia. So every time I go to Philly, it's much love from everybody. Random people I don't even know throughout the function, they're acting like they're my family. Like if they really truly act like they're your family. They
100%.
care about you. Oh, you know John. Well, guess what? Now we family. Whatever you need, I'm here for you.
For sure.
That's what it feels like there. Here it is tight. It's tight knitted. There's not too much love in the state of Utah, and I feel like that's kind of why I like AAU basketball, because I want to change the culture.
Yeah.
Me and Nika actually have had this conversation. We want to change the culture.
Well, I'm the same way.
We want it to be bigger than what it is right now, and it starts with us coaches, and that's really why we want to do this podcast. Also, that's why I got James, I got Coach Sikander, so we can have these conversations, so
100%.
people can hear about the situation that's going on with Utah and how we're so different from all these other states, because
100%.
we can't, like you said, we're behind. As a state of Utah in the basketball culture, we are behind, and it is sad to see, and that is kind of why me and Yannick want to bring people like you guys in and do this podcast and reach out to these other parents and try to figure this out, because it's a disappointment right now.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, we have to change that mindset.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I'm saying is, look, man, I've been in this game for 20 years, bro. Like, I've been in this game for a long time. And again, I'm a good dude.
Yeah.
Like I don't go behind nobody's back. I don't try to stab nobody in the back. I don't try to do none of that stuff. I was taught, like, when I'm from, you do that stuff,
It's called
They'll get you.
They'll get you.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I was taught different.
Yeah.
I was taught to look a man in the eye and say, yo, we see our differences. It's all good. You got yours, I got mine. I still love you, just to make sure you don't cross the line.
Yep.
We good.
Yep.
Right? Here, you can't get that.
No.
Every time I've done that, I've lost a job. I've lost friends. And even in this community, in this youth community, like, I show love to everybody. Like, I'm here, I show love.
I know you do.
That's where I'm from. Like, we show love. Brooklyn, spread love to Brooklyn. Like, I spread love, bro.
Good flowers.
I ain't got no animosity towards nobody unless you cross the line and disrespect my integrity and disrespect my character.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from. When you do that, you cross the line. We gonna have questions. We gonna talk. We gotta
hear about it.
Right? But I go to you.
Yeah.
I go to you.
I don't go to other people.
I ain't going behind nobody's back. I ain't doing none of that.
Strictly to the source.
100% straight to you. If I got an issue, I'm going straight to you.
Yeah.
This community doesn't understand that.
No.
They don't understand that, and it's unfortunate because that's where the lacking is, and that's where the lacking of growth is. Because if you can't do that, how does one improve?
Yeah.
You can't. It's like your own kid when you're coaching your kids. If you don't hold them accountable to what they're doing, how do you expect them to get better?
How do they learn and try to work on it?
Yeah, right. And if they're making mistakes, do you
Yeah.
keep letting them make the same mistake over and over again?
Yeah.
Or do you say, nah, we good.
Yeah.
I can't have you keep doing that.
Got to stop it. Tell them what's going on, and now let's progress and let's try to figure it
Right?
out. Yeah.
So we as adults, we don't even do that. We
No.
don't do that here.
No.
Right? Because the moment you do, you become the victim.
Yeah.
Then we play victim mentality.
Yep.
And when you play victim mentality, then everybody else is going to start to hurt.
Yeah.
Right? And so again, because I've been through so much in 20 years. Look, I was just with Utah Storm. Yeah, I was done dirty.
Yep.
I ain't gonna go into the details, but I was done dirty.
I heard about it actually.
Did you?
I heard about it just a little bit.
Just a
Nothing
little bit?
crazy, just a little bit.
Like
I was like, damn.
I was done dirty.
Yeah.
All because my oldest daughter wanted to chase her own dream. She wanted to chase her dream, and I said, I'll stick with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm still with you. I'll still ride with you. My daughter wants to go do her own thing. That's her. That's not me and my family.
And they're not going for it. They didn't go for
They
it.
kicked my entire family out of a program. My 8-year-old daughter was given the boot.
Gone.
8 years
Off
old.
one decision.
Off one decision.
Which was a decision for your family.
100%.
And that's sad.
For my family. For my family and what they needed to do. And I was still going to be loyal.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've done that for 20 years here in Utah.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm really restarting everything. Like, for real. Like, I started UBC Girls Program because I was with the boys. I said, you ain't going to stop me.
Yeah.
Where I'm from the gutter. You ain't going to stop me.
Yep.
You can do whatever you want to do.
Got your mindset on it.
Like, you can't stop me. Trust me, I've been through enough in this life.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't going to stop my progress.
You've been through worse. You've gone through worse.
I was 13 years old and shot at, bro. Like,
Yeah, you've gone through
I've been
worse.
through enough in my life.
Yep.
Your dumb ass, excuse my language. Your dumb ass decision. You ain't gonna stop me because your two-faced
Yep.
attitude.
Yep.
I'm real. Everything I've said in person, I said behind closed doors.
Yep.
We don't do that as a community.
No. No.
And I try to explain this to my wife, and she's starting to realize it because she's from Lehigh, Utah. And so she's starting to realize,
Big house, baby.
right? And I ain't like, I've been here for 20 years in Lehigh community.
Yeah.
Like, I got good friends. I don't have friends. You know what I'm saying? And so, it's just, and that's why I do what I do. Like, since 2019 to now, bro, I'm a 3-time best-selling author.
Yeah.
I got my own book coming out in January.
Oh, wow.
Like, you ain't gonna stop me from being great, bro.
Yeah. You grinding already.
Like you ain't gonna stop me.
Yep.
But I gotta do my duty and do my due diligence as a human being to spread my love and spread what I've learned and what I've become.
Yeah.
So the community of basketball and the community that I reside in
Can grow.
can grow.
Can grow.
And if you want to stop that, that's on you, but that's gonna be on me.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep moving it forward, and you can be behind me. If you could catch, you want to try to catch up, try to catch up. I don't care. I'm not.
You're going though. You're going full steam.
Foot on the pedal, no gas. I mean, no brake.
Yep.
Gas. Whew.
Got to.
And that's how you make the game better.
And that's how you get results. That's how you get results. People like you, that's how we get results. We gotta push. We gotta go.
You know what I'm saying? And I commend you because you could be like, oh, he's running a basketball program. He runs his own program. He runs. Nah, bro. Like, I got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got you too. Like, I want to support you.
Yeah. When I saw you, I knew you ran UBC, but it was never in my thought. I'm like, bro, bring that you. I got straight love for him. I don't care if you UBC. I got straight love for your coach.
That's the same thing for me. Like, like, you do your thing, bro.
Yes. Yes.
Go do you.
Yes, excellence.
I got you.
Excellence in the community.
If my program's not good for you, hey, you got Victus there.
Yep.
You got this program here. You got go do your thing. If this ain't for you,
Yes.
you ain't gotta come here.
I got other good people that you can go to and test out.
100%.
People I can vouch for.
More love.
Yeah.
Right?
More love.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like support each other, and all we do is separate and divide here. Like,
Bro.
it kills me.
Oh.
It kills me.
Oh, we've been through that several times, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, drop your pride. And I don't know, I'm doing a lot of talking here. I'm sorry.
No, but I'm agreeing with all of it. I love it.
You know
I
what
love
I'm saying?
it. I love it.
I want this place to be a better place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want my kids, you know, as I've raised my own kids, I've made some drastic changes in my life so I can have children so they can live in a place where, you know, it's harmony, but at the same time, I know they got to go through hard.
Yeah.
But at least the hard is not my hard.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And these people here don't take what they have for granted.
Yeah.
And they abuse it.
Yeah.
And instead of sharing it, they close it off.
They close it off.
And then they abuse others and close it off.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
It's like, and from my community, we don't close it off.
Yeah. You spread it.
You spread it and you bring them in.
Yep.
Right? And that's where the game of basketball has to be going in Utah. And because we haven't done that, we continue to lag behind.
We're behind.
in building up this community to compete against all those
100%.
top programs. Because again, you got all these top girl programs, and my kids are a part of it. I've been a part of it as a boys coach.
Yeah.
But it's no longer a Utah Prospects.
No.
It's no longer a UBC, right? They might as well just take the Utah Prospects sign off.
Yeah.
80% of their team is from where?
Yeah.
Not Utah.
Not Utah.
Utah.
That's what it is. Yeah. Want to know is crazy. So, you know, I played for the Prospects.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is all love, too.
No, this is all love.
My
All
kids
love.
play for Prospects.
Yeah.
But
So
I'm just saying where the game
Prospects.
is, where the game's going.
It's changed because when I was there, we had
You were all
we had one dude. His name was Hunter, and he was from Wyoming. He was our big dude. Well, we had Brandon Carlson.
The one that went to the 7-footer?
Yeah, 7-footer went to Wyoming.
Yeah,
So he was on my team, and then we had Brandon Carlson, who plays on the Raptors now. He was my big. Everyone else, guess what? We're from right here. Kendall was from right here. So Kendall Youngblood was my coach.
Yep.
We only had one person. I was looking at the roster last year. I said, dang, we only got 3 dudes from Utah. So what is this? Just call them the Prospects.
That's exactly
Call
right.
them the West Coast Prospects.
100%. And I love, like, hey, Tim is my guy.
Tim Davis.
I love Tim Davis. Shout out to Tim Davis.
Shout out Lynn Lloyd.
Yes, shout out to Lynn Lloyd. Shout out to everybody in the AAU world. Like, for real. Like, all love, bro.
All love.
UBC, my guys, all love.
All love.
Right? No hate whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see Tim rise, and we got a good relationship. We got kids the same age.
Yeah.
He knows and sees my product.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, why are you going out and taking kids from other states?
Yeah.
Why? Because the product here in Utah ain't
Up to par.
up to par with everybody else.
They can't do it. They
So if
can't
you
do it
want to
anymore.
compete, and now they're on Nike.
Yep. Yeah, now they're
Really?
yeah.
Really have to.
Now
Now
you
they-
really have to go out and get
Or-
9 guys
that are
from-
not from Utah because they're not ready.
They're not.
Sadly.
This is nothing against.
No, that's just
talent.
that's just the basketball culture in Utah. now.
100%.
We're not ready to go compete at the highest level. These kids are.
and then the girls' side,
Yeah.
Utah Prospects, who they just picked up because my kids are part of the pro. Nation Williams.
Oh, Nation. Did
Natalie
was
Williams.
Nation going there?
So Natalie Williams is back on Utah Prospects.
Oh, really?
And I have all respect for Natalie.
Yeah.
Natalie wanted me to coach her kids when I was at Sky. Was like, I'm bringing my kids to you, and she left, and then I lost my job. Wait, let's make that connection again, Natalie. By the way, if you see this, you know what I'm saying? But she's on Utah Prospects now.
Yeah.
She left the EYBL, so now she's here. So what is she going to surround her kid with?
Yeah.
Right? What we want to surround her with? We're going to surround her with girls who are up to par with
par.
Nation Williams.
Yep.
And that, for me, for my daughter, I'm scared
Yeah.
in a sense because I'm like, now my daughter, hey, it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not 2 to 3 hours no more. My daughter,
No.
it's now 5, 6.
You gotta bump it up.
If you want to be with that,
Yeah, because
Now
they're
you gotta go
going
fight.
with Nation. Whoever's surrounding her has to be up to with Nation. And and if you guys don't know who Nation is, she's out here with so many D1 offers.
Yeah.
She's one of the top Top. She plays for OTE,
Sophomore.
right?
Say what?
She plays for OTE too. She plays on one of the OTE teams.
Yeah.
She is so tough.
But that's what I'm saying. Like she top 10 in her class
Yep.
as a sophomore.
She is.
Power 5 schools.
Yep.
You got her in
And
the
her
program.
crazy.
So now you got to surround that with that same type of caliber of player.
Yep. Same type of player.
That's what we got in the game.
Yep.
And again, sad part is sneakers have gotten involved in all this, and that's why it's created all of this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of left kids behind. But yeah, man, it's a tough game.
It's a tough game.
It's a tough game now.
The tough
So-
game.
Thing that we're trying to figure out in order to fix the culture out here. What's the one thing that we got to change or that we got to improve to make sure that this product is up to par? Because we want to get to the point that these kids are being considered for these top programs and getting to go to these Nike circuits and all this different stuff. What do we add or what do we need to take out?
I think when I was a young coach, I wanted to be a coach because I wanted to coach. I wanted to show how, even though I wasn't the greatest player, that I knew this game, that I was capable. I don't know who I was trying to prove that to. And then I'm lucky I had some really good coaching mentors. When I entered the profession, when I went from being just something I dabbled into a profession, one of them was ironically my dad. And
Shout out Pops.
yep, shout out Mike Taylor, Dr. Taylor.
Mike. Doctor?
Yeah, shout out Dr.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Does he live in Utah?
No, he's in Arizona. Recently retired. He's old. But
Can't wait for that day.
but he looked me in the eye one day and he said, "You need to take yourself out of it." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "This is not about you. Your time has come and gone. Your time ended when you were in high school. And now your focus needs to be on your kids." And I think, and I was starting that transformation when I entered the Lehigh program.
Yeah.
I
You were so young.
was 26.
Yeah. You were my age.
Yep.
Yeah.
And but Marcus's group was actually the first group where I was switching from the authoritarian style, do
To
as
like
I say right
To
now.
like the more like, hey, let me
Yes.
help you.
And that learning that if it's all about the kids, we're going to make decisions based on what's best for the children and their goals. And ultimately, if we all also have our goals. I would love to be a college basketball coach. I would love to make that my career. And I've had that opportunity a couple of times. I've always passed it up to stay here because I feel like I can do more good for kids and their outcomes here.
Yeah.
I've stayed in education for children and for their outcomes. So I think that's the one thing. I think we have too many power brokers making decisions based on what's best for them as an adult, as a grown man or woman, what's best for them, and doing it at the expense sometimes of children. And that is what I think, for me, if I could just wave a magic wand, would be to but that's what I would change. I would change that all the adults that are involved in this are no longer doing it for whatever their ulterior motives, and some of them are, and I'm not, a lot of us are actually doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
There's just been enough ugly that has come into youth basketball, and it started
A lot of ugly.
it started when I was in high school.
I've seen it at the highest level. I've seen it.
And if we could get back to what
I won't say names though.
we don't have a game without players.
Yeah.
We don't have teams that coach without kids. And so that's what I would do, is I would change that part of the culture.
motivation.
The motivation of not just the kids. I talked about kid motivation already, but like the motivation of adults. I get joy out of being who Bob Barnes was for me. Shout out Bob.
Yeah.
You know, now with my braces, I talk like him. But my other dance coaches who looked me in the eye and said, "James, you have potential to do something with this. Let me help you. And you could be good at this. Let me help you."
Yeah.
And so go back to the kids. Just everything's got to go back to kids.
And you're saying like as a coach aspect,
as
right?
a coach. Yeah, as coaches,
So let me ask you something. I don't know because I've never been a high school coach. Do high school coaches get together and talk and do powwows and stuff and talk about philosophies and what we need to do as coaches in the state to level us up? Do they ever do that?
So high school coaches, meaning like have like meetings with high school coaches,
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
high school coaches.
Yeah. Do they ever talk and figure it out?
maybe only at the union clinic that they hold every year.
You have to go to that.
No,
Okay.
but they hold your feet to the fire. You have to join the union for your kids to get named to the all-star teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So basically.
Yeah. So basically, so I think that's kind of where, and I'll speak for, I came up through the ranks before I came to Lehigh. I was in Southern Utah at Cedar High. We hated the other coaches.
Yeah. Despise them.
Despised them.
Yeah.
We did not like them. There were specific coaches, especially.
I remember you told me this the other day at South.
Yeah, there were a couple in particular that you just couldn't. And I'm sure they hated us too.
Yeah.
And
you guys didn't want to talk.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Like it was to the point where like our kids. This was at the beginning of AAU, and our kids would like go hang out at half court, and and half our coaches were like, "How do they even talk to these kids?" Like I just want to punch all the kids from Hurricane. Now they're out there, right? Because most of our coaches, I was actually at the time I was the only coach on staff that was not a Cedar High alumni. But yeah, there was no collaboration then. There is some now. I like the 2A level.
Yeah. That's the level you're at?
Where I'm at.
Okay.
Because there is a lot. I get texts all the time from coaches in Southern Utah. We talk about the teams up here. We talk about the teams down there. I talk to Zach Alvarez at Roland Hall all the time. Zach's my guy. We coached.
Shout out Zach.
Shout out Zach. He's doing awesome things at Roland Hall. He's in the AD there. But I feel that community more in the 2A level than I did
in the 4A, 5A, 6A.
Level. Back then it was 5A.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So this is a deep question. It really is, because there's multiple facets to this. Here's my take on it. I think that was my first thought. It's not about you. I think parents understand that, but they don't understand it. My thing is, money isn't going to change the game. Investing in people will change the game. And I think that's where basketball has become.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying don't get paid your worth. What I'm saying is these parents have to understand money isn't going to change their kid.
Yeah.
People change their kid.
Yeah.
Right. We as coaches are an influence in their lives. And if we're not able to do that, that kid isn't going to change.
Yeah.
That kid isn't going to get better.
Starts with us.
Starts with the coaches. It starts with the relationship with the coaches for us to make the biggest impact on your kid.
Yeah.
And if you as a parent are looking at your kid as an investment, you're going to lose every single time.
Every time.
Why? Because your kid isn't the stock market. Right? You're going to plug money into this, and guess what most often is going to lead into is you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's the kid's choice, not you as a parent's choice.
Amen.
Right? So you're throwing all these kids in these programs. It's great, getting them active because they're all on the cell phones and
touch grass, kids.
You know what I'm saying? Like just all day long. My kids are the same way.
Yeah.
I got to take them away and all that. But it's investment in your people. And when you invest in people, your program's going to thrive.
Yeah.
Right? And I try to do that with my kids. I got a small program. I got 20 kids, and I don't want to make it any bigger. 30 is probably the max, and that's where I'm going to keep it at. And I'm helping parents. You can't pay for this? Okay, cool. I'll cut it off here for you.
Yeah.
You got 4 kids in my program? Okay, this kid's going to be free. Why? You can't afford it? Cool with me. I ain't doing this for money. I got a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You care less about the money.
Yeah.
Right? The money isn't where it's at. This is where it's at. This is where it's at.
Yeah.
My investment in you and our relationship's more important than that dollar.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand that, that's what sports was.
Yeah. It was.
Sports ain't that no
Keyword
more.
was.
right? That's not sports is an entertainment value now. Now it's about making a dollar. And when we mix the two, when we mix business and sports, it's turned it into something sour. Like, and I'm gonna just share my story. When I was 13, 14 years old, I went to a park called Emerson Park. It's 3 basketball courts, 2, 3, 4 courts like this, right? And bottom court was for the nobodies.
Neek. Did you ever see Neek there?
The middle court was for the kids, right? The middle court was for the kids that was good, trying to make their way.
Yeah.
Last court was the OGs.
Oh, me.
Right? All the ones that played in college, played high-level basketball, right? They're in their 30s, their 40s, balling every day, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
They show up in their cars, and that job was to try to get to that third court, right? When we got to that third court, after the game was over, I sat down with them. Hey, yo, my nickname's Putty. So, hey, Putty, go to the store, go get some beers, go get some peanuts.
Yeah.
They know you're coming. For real. Go get some Heinekens. For real. Heine's.
Yeah.
Get some peanuts. They know who we are. Come back to the park. And we're going to drink and have, okay, girl, yeah, whatever. All right, Blunt. All right, Pete, I got you. Run down. And then they give me $1, $2, for the tip. Hey, go buy some candy or something. And then I would just sit down. And all these OGs would just sit down and just talk. And I just sit down and talk. And they'd be like, Putty, come here. And they all drunk.
Yeah.
When you drunk, you honest.
Oh, honest.
Right? You know how it goes, right?
Honest.
So they would pull this, and then they would just start talking to me. And then they just spitting game to me and just investing.
OG game.
Right? Just investing in me. And hey, if you do this, this is where you're going to go. If you do this is where you're going to go.
Yeah.
Right? So they invested in me as a person, as a human being. Like I said, P was in that group, the one that texts me all the time.
Yeah.
It's my family now because he invested in me, right? And he helped me change my life.
Yeah.
He helped me get a D1 scholarship because he pushed me. He did all those things that someone needs in their life to propel them to become better than what they believe they can become, to reach their full potential, right?
About to.
It wasn't money. There's no money involved in that.
Yeah.
It was all pure wisdom, right? It was pure love, pure truth, all honesty, no games, right? Hey, Putty, I literally remember this. A guy named Ron. Putty, you probably not going to be a pro. He literally said that to my face. Kill me. Kill me.
Yeah.
Like, you going to crush my dream like that? Nah, Ron, you can't do that to me. Nah. Nah, he was like, but you going to play D1. I know you're going to play D1. You ready for that.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to make the NBA.
Kept it real with you.
But I, you know what I'm saying, kept it real with me. But at the end of the day, it was a little bit of motivation.
Yeah.
It's motivation, too, because where I'm from, I'm not staying here. You crazy?
Yeah.
I'm getting out of here. I shootouts every night.
Yeah.
I'm shot. My wife would be on the phone. We had long distance. What's that sound in the background?
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what they did, bro. It wasn't money. It was investment. Okay, pay. You can pay. Yeah, okay. You invested in something. I want to get paid for my time, just like any other job.
Yeah.
But just remember that dollar isn't what's going to change your kid. And if you got that mindset, this place is for you. This place is for me.
Yeah.
And that can change the game.
100%.
Right? And then lastly, just this right here. Stop hating each other, bro.
Yeah.
Why you hating on me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's stop.
So much hate.
For real. Like, I saw... So again, I just love to get on this stuff because it's important, man. It's real.
Yeah.
Like, I listen to rap. I'm still... You know what I mean?
Let's go, Sikander.
I like Lil Durk.
Let's
like,
go.
I feel bad for Lil Durk, bro. Like, I feel bad for Lil Durk. You know what I mean? So, like,
I like Rod Wave.
You like Lil
You like Rod Wave?
Yeah, my kids listen to Rod Wave. My kids listen to Rod Wave.
His kids.
What's up? And he do too.
I do too with the
Yeah,
kids.
too.
Some of the songs, not all the songs, but some of the songs. Like, I like the rack. Rack is good.
Yeah.
I like with the rack.
Rags and riches.
But but he was spitting game. Was it Wallow? Yeah, it was Wallow.
Yeah, $100
Spitting
million
game.
worth of game.
Yeah, he was spitting game to Lil Durk, and you could just see Lil Durk, and you could just see him locked in.
Eating it.
right? He was giving
Awesome.
him, he was giving it to him, and Dirk was taking. And that just brought me back to when I was a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need for each other. That's
Yeah.
what I want to provide for my youngins. That's what I want to be the OG now.
Yeah.
And provide that for the people who are trying to come up in this game in a different world.
Yeah.
But you still have to have the same principles.
100%. Yeah.
Principles don't change.
Yeah.
And that's what's changing in the game is the principles.
Yeah.
Let's get back to those principles. Money isn't it. Relationships is the biggest piece. And it's not about you.
Yeah.
And that's how you get there.
I like that OG talk because obviously me and Yannick, we're young guys trying to build this and pick this thing up. And then we got two older guys that have done this for years. And I think this is a great convo that me and Nick can learn from. And then also we get to talk to you guys and we can all learn from this. People that are watching this get to learn from it. So I think sharing knowledge, even though, like you said, it's different. And what we're going through is different than what you guys are going through when you guys are doing your stuff. But it's all knowledgeable. We can all learn from it. We can all grow from it. So I appreciate it. That was a good episode.
That was a wrap?
That was a great episode. I appreciate that.
Good coach's corner.
Good coach.
Solid episode.